What if I told you that some of the waste you're throwing away every day could actually become one of the most valuable resources on your farm? Vegetable peels, dry leaves, grass clippings, weeds, and even certain animal manures can be transformed into rich, natural compost. And the best part, you don't need expensive equipment. Today, on The Frontier Farmer, we're going to show you exactly how to turn ordinary farm and kitchen waste into nutrient-rich compost that can help improve your soil and grow healthier plants. So, let's get started. Think of it as nature's recycling system. Instead of sending organic waste to a landfill, burning it, or simply throwing it away, we can return those nutrients to the soil. Compost can help improve soil structure, support soil organisms, and increase the soil's ability to hold moisture. But to make good compost, we need the right ingredients. There are two main categories of materials we want to understand: green materials and brown materials. Green materials are generally rich in nitrogen. Examples include fresh grass clippings, vegetable and fruit scraps, fresh weeds before they have produced seeds, plant trimmings, and suitable animal manure. Brown materials, on the other hand, are generally rich in carbon. Examples include dry leaves, dry grass, straw, untreated cardboard, small amounts of untreated wood material. The secret is to combine these materials rather than piling up only one type. But before we start building our compost pile, there are some things you should leave out. Avoid adding meat, fish, dairy products, oils, pet waste, and materials contaminated with chemicals. Also be careful with weeds that have mature seeds or plants carrying persistent diseases, because your composting process may not eliminate all of those problems. When you're unsure about a material, it's better to leave it out. Step 1 is choosing the right location. Look for a place that is convenient to access and has good drainage. A partially shaded location can help prevent the pile from drying out too quickly in hot weather. You can make compost directly on the ground, or use a simple compost bin made from materials available around your farm. Remember, composting doesn't have to be expensive. We're trying to recycle resources, not create another expensive farm project. Let's build our compost pile. We'll begin with a layer of brown material such as dry leaves, straw, or other suitable dry plant material. This helps create structure and allows air to move through the pile. Now we add our green material. Here we're using vegetable scraps and fresh plant material. Spread it across the brown layer instead of creating one huge pile of kitchen waste. Then cover the green material with another layer of brown material. And we simply continue alternating. Brown, green, brown, green. Moisture is also important. Your compost pile should be moist, but not soaking wet. A simple way to think about it is the moisture level of a well-wrung-out sponge. If the pile is too dry, decomposition slows down. If it's constantly waterlogged, there may not be enough oxygen, and the pile can become smelly. So check your pile regularly, especially during hot or dry weather. Composting organisms need oxygen too. That's why turning your compost pile is important. Use a garden fork or shovel to mix the materials and introduce air into the pile. How often you turn it depends on your composting method, the materials you're using, and how quickly you want decomposition to happen. Don't worry if you can't turn it every day. The goal is to maintain a healthy balance of air, moisture, and organic material. Now here's where composting gets really interesting. Inside the pile, millions of microorganisms are breaking down the organic materials. As they work, the pile can become warm. Over time, the original materials gradually break down and become darker and more crumbly. This is nature doing the work for us. So how do you know when your compost is ready? Finished compost should generally be dark, crumbly, and earthy smelling. You shouldn't be able to easily recognize most of the original materials. The exact time required varies depending on the materials, moisture, temperature, oxygen, and how often the pile is turned. So don't focus only on the calendar. Look at the compost itself. Once your compost is ready, you can incorporate it into garden soil or use it around established plants. It can be particularly useful for improving soil structure and adding organic matter. But remember, compost isn't a magic replacement for every fertilizer or every soil amendment. Healthy farming is about understanding what your soil and crops actually need. And this is what sustainable farming is really about. It's not simply about growing food. It's about creating systems where resources are reused instead of wasted. The leaves fall from the trees. The plants grow. We harvest food. The leftover organic material goes back into the compost. The compost goes back into the soil. And the soil helps us grow the next crop. That's a cycle. And the closer we can get our farms and gardens to working in natural cycles, the more efficiently we can use the resources available to us. So before you throw away your vegetable scraps, dry leaves, or other suitable organic farm waste, stop and ask yourself, could this become food for my soil instead? Start small, build your compost pile, observe what happens, learn from it, and turn waste into a resource. If you found this video useful, subscribe to The Frontier Farmer, turn on the notification bell, and join us as we explore practical, sustainable ways to grow better food and build healthier farms. And tell us in the comments, what organic material do you have around your home or farm that you could turn into compost? Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep farming sustainably.